Hi everybody, and welcome back to the BizTech Academy. This lesson here is a very introductory lesson into Excel formatting. It's very much aimed at beginners. So if you have some experience of Excel, you might find this lesson a little basic for you. But if you are a beginner, you may well find this helpful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize the home ribbon here on the front page of Excel, and we're going to use a number of the formatting menu items here to show you how to use those. The data I put here, this is a workbook or some data I've used in a previous exercise, and I've just cleared all the formatting from it. As you can see, the columns are not big enough, the numbers don't really mean anything, the titles don't mean anything, and so on. Just for information, what this actually is a menu from a restaurant chain. The menu item is in the column A here. The cities where the restaurants sit are in the middle here, and then you have the actual revenue, annual revenue from these particular menu items, and the total revenue in column G here. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to show you how to insert some columns, insert some rows, and put a title in place, and also right size some of the columns. So to start with, let's make a title for this analysis so it makes a little bit more sense. And let's in row one, we'll highlight the whole row by clicking on the "Ron" here, and then we'll go up to this little box here and we'll press insert. This actual button here inserts the full row, but you can see if you drop the menu down, you can insert some cells and a row if you like, or even a sheet. We'll just press the button and insert a row. We'll do it again, and then we'll put the title in here. The title is called Steve's Restaurant Annual Revenue. I think that's enough. Okay. Now, what you can see is that the title is just on the left-hand side here. So we'd like to have it across the top, so it covers all of these cells. What you do there to do that, you need to make all the cells that you wanted covered to be one cell, and to do that, you merge the cells. And you can see here in the top here, there's a button called Merge and Center. And what we'll do is we'll take the cell that the title is in, and you can see an A1 at the top here in the formula bar. There's the title, so it's sitting in A1, and we'll drag the mouse all the way across to the end of G, because that's where we want the title to be centered, and we'll press the Merge and Center button. And you can see now it puts the title right in the beginning. It makes it all in one cell. That cell, which is now A1, actually covers all of those particular columns. The next thing we can see here is that a lot of this information, especially around the recipe items or the menu items, they're hidden because the column is too small. What you can do here to make the column wider, and therefore to fit this information, you can hover over the right-hand side of the column you want to make wider. So, for example, here you want column A to be wider, so you hover between A and B, click the mouse, and drag however big you want. So if you drag it all the way over here to be extreme, you can see it now takes it all the way over, but it's too much. We don't want it that much. You can also see though the merged title is also extended because the column is extended that it exists in. So here what we'll do, we'll click it back and we'll just take it to the widest item. Okay. Now what you can see is there's some others here. Minneapolis is a little bit cramped up, same as Indianapolis. Another way of doing this is if you actually double click on the join between the two columns, that will right size the column for the largest item of text within your workbook. So again, we'll just highlight all of these and we'll just double click. And as you can see, it makes the columns as wide as the widest items. So for Indianapolis, as wide as Indianapolis. For Minneapolis, same for there. And then for Chicago, because Chicago is a smaller word, it's made it as large as some of the numbers in the cells. What I'm actually going to do, because I don't like uneven columns, if you've got similar data, I'm just going to do it again, and then you can right click and you can see column width. And what you can do is you can put in your own column. I tend to use something like 12, and 12 creates a bit of space for everything so you can see it around, and that makes it look a little bit more presentable. Now, the other thing you might want to do is for the heading here, the title, and also the headings in the particular table, We might want to make those a different color or make them bold or something. Then we'll make them bold. So if you highlight the data you want to bold, you go up to this little area here, which is where you can play around with some of the text. We could, if we wanted to, we could change the font by clicking on here. We change it to, I don't know, just Apple symbols, which we don't really want to do. It'll change it. We change it to whatever that may be. That looks different, but we'll just go back. We'll undo it. But that's how you would change the font. If you wanted to change the font size, and we'll actually do that in the title. We'll click on the title. We'll make this a bit bigger. We could just choose, say, for example, 18. That makes it bigger. Or these two buttons here, a large A and a small a, these make it decrease. It says, hovers over it, decrease the font size, increase the font size. So we could either make it bigger by clicking on that, or we could decrease it again. And we'll stick with 18, I think, on here. As I say, we'll make these headings bold. So we would highlight them, press bold, and you can see they go dark. If you wanted to, you could underline them. You could put them in italics, anything you want. If you want to undo that, you just click it again and undo it. We'll stick with bold, I think. We'll also make the title bold. I think that'll stand out a bit more. Okay. Now, what else have we got here? So you can see there's all these numbers here, but they don't look very good, and they're all different. They have different decimal points. They don't have any sort of denominations or anything. But what we actually do know is we all know it's revenue. It's money. It's currency. So what you can do here is make these currencies. Now you could highlight the whole lot because you know it's a currency, and you could go into this little box here and you can choose your format. There's a number of categories here. You can see there's different examples. And there's a number of boxes here as well. So, for example, you could put a comma in place if you wanted to, and that particular format puts a comma in place, and then also adds 2 decimal places. We'll undo that for a second. We could make them percentages, but we don't want percentages. But you could do that. We're actually going to want dollar signs on here, this is called the accountancy function. You could put pound signs, euros, or whatever. We're going to put dollars United States because that's what it is. And you can see it's now made them. All the numbers have dollar signs on them, and also go to 2 decimal places. Now, we actually don't want 2 decimal places, and we also want to see what the issue is with this particular number. This number here is too large for the cell, so again, you'd have to double-click on the join to make it the right size. Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to the decimal places. If we highlight it all, these 2 buttons here increase and decrease decimal places. So on the left-hand side, it will increase it. So if I press that, you can see, in fact, it's making the numbers go away because they don't fit the columns. But as you can see on the revenue, it's gone to 4 decimal places. If we take the right-hand one, as you can see, it says decrease decimals, and just go like that. We're going to do it 4 times because we don't want any decimals. And there we go. We're also going to put this column here back to 12, column width, because it'll now fit because we've removed the decimal places. And all the cells, so all the columns are now at 12, which makes it a little neater and tidier. Okay, so we now have what resembles a little bit of a table. We have the dishes, as I say here, and we have everything in dollar signs. We have it bolded at the top here. We have the title bigger, so we can see that, which is great. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll maybe put some colors in place. So we'll do on the Steve's restaurant. We'll choose, I don't know, let's choose, if we go back up to where the text is here, you've got 2 colors. You've got a text color, and you've got what's called a fill color. And the fill is the fill or the background of the cell. I think we're happy with the black. We could, for example, just change this to red if we wanted to, but I think we're okay with black. But we do want the background to be different. So we click on the fill. We'll choose a color. You can choose, any color you want. There's many different types. You can just hover and just choose one from there. But we'll just use a basic one. So we'll click back down, and we'll go with, let's say, green for argument's sake. In this case, we'll have a dark green top, but then again, the writing now doesn't stand out very well. What we could do is we could make the font white. Oh, that's a bit better. That stands out better now. So we'll stick with that, and then we'll do a lighter green, a slightly lighter green for the titles of the table. How's that? And then into the table itself, what we'll do is we'll do every other one. We'll do a light green. So we'll do that and so on. Now, what you can do here, because we're doing the same format across a number of cells, you can copy the format. So if you highlight now that particular cell, for that particular range of cells, for example, we know that in the first one it's just text and it's light green. In all the others is a $sign and it's light green. And what we want to do is just copy that format to every alternate range of cells here. So to do that, you click on this button here. You can see at the top right where it says format, and this is the format copier or the copy formatting function. If you press it once, it will allow you to copy the format only one time. If you click it more than once, so click it twice, it will allow you to do as many copies of the format until you turn it off. So we're going to click it twice, which is turn it on indefinitely. And now we're going to click on every alternate cell, so 9. And as you can see, it makes the colors and the formatting the same. I then go back to turn it off. I just click it again, and it turns that off. And my mouse now goes back to the normal. Sorry, the cursor comes back to the normal cross, and that looks a little bit better. That looks a little bit more presentable. The only thing we'll do here, though, is we'll also add some borders. So to do that, we want to put a border probably at the bottom of here. So we've got a line underneath the titles. This little button here is the borders, and if you click on that, it has many different types of borders. You can see. I'm just going to use a bottom border here, so you tap the bottom, and you can see now there's a line, just a thin line below the base. Now, what I also want to do now is to have a vertical line down on each particular column of the table. And you can see as I'm highlighting them, it's stopping or removing the previous range and highlighting a new range every time I do it. For efficiency's sake, I'd like to have them all highlighted as ranges, individual ranges, so I can put a right line on each one. To do that, you highlight the first range, and then you click your Command key if it's a Mac, or your Control key if it's a Windows machine, and you then highlight the range again. And then keeping the Command or Control key pressed, you do it again. And then what you're doing is you're highlighting different ranges. So a number of different ranges, multiple ranges. So each time you get to the end of a range, lift the Control or Command key off, and then before you click on the next one, keep it pressed down, and there you go. And what you can do then is go to the borders, press the right-hand border. I want a right-hand border, and if I click away from that, you can see now there is a line to the right-hand side of each one. Okay. Finally, just again, it's just personal preference. What I like to do, I also then like to put it all into a frame. So I'd go back to the borders, and there's a category called thick box border. And if you press that, you can see there's a dark border around there. And that now looks exceedingly more presentable than it did at the start of this tutorial. And that's very, very simple. We've just looked at some fonts. We've looked at some sizes of the fonts. We've used the bold. We've used some borders. We've changed some coloring within the spreadsheet, and we've also changed some formatting of the numbers that are in the cell. And we've also merged, by the way, merged some of the cells and right-sized some of the columns as well. That's the basics of formatting, and as you can see, it takes really no time. There is more of the complications around conditional formatting, and there is a separate video on that, which I'll show you on. You'll be able to click on at the left of the screen in a moment. But in the meantime, that should give you a very good overview of Excel's basic formatting. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you want to have a go at this yourself, please have a look at the description below this video, and you'll see a download link for this particular exercise, both the plain data plus the formatted data. Then by all means follow along the video and see if you can make it look as pretty as I think this does. Also, there's a complete beginner's course that we produced. There's a link to it on the screen now, and that particular beginner's course takes you through a lot more of the basics of Excel, including inputting formulas, also inputting functions, as well as creating charts, and also preparing your document for printing and email. So by all means try that if you want to learn more about Excel. Okay, again, if you did like the video, it'd be great if you can give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and press the alert button. We do release new videos every day. And in the meantime, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.